23rd Psalm says, "You anoint my head with oil." Let me kind of give you a little backstory on that. So it's talking about the shepherd and the sheep. In the summertime, the shepherds hate the summertime because sometimes their sheep and their flock can acquire bugs, specifically the nosefly. And the nosefly gets sometimes in the nostrils of the lambs and the sheep and begin to plant larvae. And if they're successful, they'll plant themselves in the nostrils and sometimes even in the brain of the sheep to the point of where it's hurting them so bad they are doing anything to relieve the pain. They're banging their heads against any surface. They're trying to relieve themselves to the point of sometimes even death. And God began to show me and tell me that this is my people, to the point where they're facing so many internal struggles, so many demons, so many things internally that they can't relieve their pain, and they end up killing themselves. They end up hurting themselves. They end up acquiring bruises. The shepherd begins to anoint the sheep's head with oil. It's a tedious process. They begin to go in, and the oil begins to do three things. It begins to protect, it begins to heal, and it begins to remove things that they've acquired internally. It begins to remove the larvae from their noses. It begins to heal them from any bruises they've acquired from hitting and banging their heads. And it begins to protect them from any future predators and anything's trying to harm them on the outside to the inside. This is just a beautiful depiction of what God does for us. And our prayer should be just, God, anoint our heads with oil. Anoint our heads with your oil, God. Anoint my family's head with your oil. Anoint my children's head with your oil. Anoint this generation's head with your oil, God. Anoint my coworkers' head with your oil. God, we don't want to see another divorce. We don't want to see someone else commit suicide again. We don't want to see someone in their life again. God, anoint our heads with oil. So I'm here to encourage you today that God wants to anoint your head. Psalm 23 is not just an old psalm, but it's a psalm of now, where God can anoint your head with oil. Just ask him.